But Dustin, some of these young people, they're still in high school and they may be searching
Yep.
how do I find my why? What kind of tips can you help them,
Yep.
to maybe it's just a why in their life right now. In this season of my life. I'm a junior, I'm a senior. Hey, I've not been able to see my classmates now in several months, and I don't know when I may be able to see them again. How can I find what my purpose is in this season of life I am right now? Not even with my bigger purpose, but just this season of life right now. How do I find that why myself?
Well, I'm going to say this one direct, and I hope that if it offends you, I guess it'll offend you. I think most of you will be probably motivated, challenged by it. I wanted to, one, talk about why purpose today. The second one I want to talk about, and you just asked it, James, how do I really lock into that purpose here and now at where my feet are ground level? And I would tell you the greatest way for you to find your purpose right now, outside of prayer and discernment, is who you are surrounding yourself with. And I like this phrase better. I call it my ride or die group. That's fun. That sounds a little cooler than the who. But my ride or die group is, who are you surrounding yourself with? Who is giving accountability to you in your life? And so let me say this to you. When I say accountability, I'm usually talking about people who might be a little older, wiser, or grayer, or I'm talking about friends that there are no secrets, that they're going to be honest with you, and they're going to walk with you. And I'll give you a couple attributes of the people in my life, the accountability groups that I have, my ride or die group. There's a couple of things that they all have in common. They all love me. They all pray for me. And they're honest with me. And at the end of the day, they're for me. They want to see me be as successful as I can be. And so especially during this time where we're probably not out abundantly making new friends, relationships, I would ask you the question, who is that ride or die group in your life? Who is that accountability in your life? And here's the part that gets fun. If you're saying to me right now, Dustin, I just don't have that, I would tell you it's because you don't want to have it. I say the same thing about friendships. You want to have great friends, you got to be great friends. You want to have great teammates, you got to be a great teammate. And so I would tell you, for me in my life, from 18 to 27, I would have told you, well, I don't really have an accountability group. I don't really have people who are going to take time to invest and walk and mentor and love and be honest with me. The real reason that is I didn't want that. I wanted selfish me to do what I wanted to do. And if there was someone else that may say, hey, we care about you. Hey, we're locking into some of your gifts and talents. We maybe see this avenue for you. If it was in any way in opposition to what I wanted to do, I didn't want to hear it. So I would tell you, when we start thinking about what the man just said, who just talked about the gifts and the talents that you have, sometimes, and dare I say oftentimes, we need people who are going to love us, walk with us, pray with us, who are for us and be honest with us, to help us navigate what those things look like. I would have never got into coaching had I not listened to some people who were for me, that I trusted, who knew me, who had been walking with me, to say, hey, we think you really need to look at coaching. I played basketball my whole life. I loved it. It was my dream. Played college ball at Heston College my first 2 years at a junior college, then played out in Virginia. And when that was done, I wasn't good enough to play professionally, wasn't good enough to play overseas. I thought basketball was done for me. And then when the coaching position came open, I didn't apply for it. And I had some mentors and accountability, some ride or die friends that said, hey, we think this matches your gift set. And I said, well, I'm going to be a speaker. I want to coach. I'm going to be a speaker. And they said, no, I think this would actually tie right into speaking. I think this would be about all the things you're talking about. And so at 22, I was one of the 24, I was one of the youngest, I think second youngest NJCA coaches hired in history. And so when I took that job, again, my heart was right. I wanted to walk and impact and disciple and encourage young men. But I didn't know how to do that quite yet. And so those same people were able to walk and grow with me, be honest with me. And that was special. So I would pose that question to you right now. Question one is, what is your why? Question two, I would ask, is, who are the accountability people in your life? Who are the people who can be real, raw, and transparent, who love you, but can be really honest with you, who can challenge you, and you accept that because you know they're for you. For me, there are several groups. I've got a men's prayer group that every Tuesday. There's not a story untold there. There's nothing, if you wrote the book of Dustin James Galyon, there's nothing those guys don't know. And because of that transparency, because of that realness and vulnerability, man, we can get down in a lot of ways. And we get to some really great things in our lives. I've got a friend that's an AD just down the road at Friends University, who used to be my boss, my pastor, my dad. We've got the guy who married my wife and I is able to do that. And then ultimately my wife. And guys that I speak with, Bill and Rhett and Kelly Barnes, guys that I can really get in and be honest with. So I would ask you, who is the who in your life? Who's your ride or die people? How are they helping you identify your gifts and your strengths and saying, no, yes, keep going that direction. Yes, you're fantastic at that. Sometimes we need other people to inform us of the gifts and talents that we have. The other side of that is, just so you know, those same people can often help us navigate from maybe some avenues that we're being pulled to that maybe are not our gift set. I would tell you this, when I went to college, I was a pre-med major for a week. I wanted to be a doctor when I came to college, and you'd say, why? I would say, I want to help people. Well, a week in, I had a mentor say, hey, you're a smart young man. I don't think you're going to be a doctor. And so I want you to know, I think your gift set lies X, Y, Z, and I did a good thing and listened to him. So I think, James, to answer your question, how do we find that right now, the gifts, the talents? One, it's who we're with. The second one is how are you right now in your life? How are you taking the opportunities that you have or could have to go and try new things, to go and serve other people? You don't really know until you get in the thick of it. So especially at that 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, those high school, early college years, get involved. Go at it. I always tell people in the speaking world, when I give a keynote, am I worried about you being the best? Well, no, I'm not, because the reality is on every team, there's probably one player who's probably the best. There's probably one person in your class that probably has the highest ACT, highest GPA. You may be that person. That's awesome. I'm not worried if you are the best. I'm worried if you're bringing your best. And so when you bring your best to that activity, to that organization, to that group, man, you're going to find out a lot about yourself that I think will really help you navigate those gifts and talents. So bring your best, serve other people, surround yourself with others who are your ride and die group, who are going to be accountable to you, that you can be accountable to. But yeah, James, I think that's a huge part in finding your purpose right now.